How are you feeling, Brian? I don't know. I just can't believe he's gone. Tribal Council was a complete and utter disaster. I still don't really know what happened. Tyler had an idol, and rocks had to be drawn, and my grandpa went home. I've been wanting to play with him this whole time, and I don't know what to do now that he's out. Well, you can talk to me. I'm all ears. Well, I don't know. I just feel like my game's not been very good, and it was looking up. My grandpa knew what to do. He was making the right calls, and I just don't know what to do without him. Well, Brian, I'm here for you if you need anything, and I'm willing to work with you still, you know. I want to go far with you, right? Like, you know, it sucks that he's gone, but we can move forward from this. Yeah, I guess so. Do you know where Tyler and Hunter went? I want to thank them for, you know, going to rocks for me. I think they're by the well, but I'm not too sure. I feel super guilty about last night. I shouldn't have voted for Tyler. I was getting too greedy, and I wanted to try to convince James I was with him by writing Tyler's name down, and it led to a tie. If I had voted with Tyler, rocks would never have come up, and Chris wouldn't have gone home. So I feel like it's my fault that Chris is gone, and I feel like I owe it to Brian to look after him, because if it wasn't for me, Chris would still be here. See, I only have one question. It's like, why did you vote for Sarah? That's literally all I need to know. Well, okay. I voted for Sarah because I feel like she was in the best spot. Yes, Grace and Ashley are threats and all, but Sarah was close with them. She's got a duo with George, and I felt like they were working together with Brian and Chris, so I thought that it made the most sense to vote for Sarah because she was in the best position. Okay, like, that's cool and all, but it wasn't your decision to make, right? It was my idol. If I give you an idol, right, it should be my decision. Hunter's all mad at me about voting for Sarah, but I stand by the decision. Sarah's in a good spot, and well, I wanted to get her out. Plus, I feel like rocks are gonna have to be drawn no matter what. If I had voted for Ashley, that side's probably going to rocks for her anyway, so I don't think it would have made much difference who I was voting for. Wait. Hunter, you gave Tyler that idol? Yeah, I might have. What the heck, man? Why didn't you tell me? Well, I couldn't tell anyone because it wasn't really in anyone's best interest. I mean, I told Chris. If he didn't tell you, that's not my fault. No. If Tyler was going to be safe, we could have just not voted for him, right? My grandpa would still be here if you actually been transparent. My sadness quickly turned into anger. Hunter, he gave Tyler an idol. I thought I could trust him, but he just didn't tell me at all. And he saw how the vote went. It's Hunter's fault that it went the way it did. If he just didn't give Tyler the idol, everything would have been fine. Or if he didn't want Tyler to go, we could have voted someone else. So, I'm pissed off at Hunter. I really am. Hey, don't start yelling at me, Brian. I went to rocks for you, okay? I put my game on the line for you. Yeah, you also lied to me. Could have just told me they had the idol. Hey guys, calm down, okay? Tempers are high. Let's just all go to bed, and we can talk about this in the morning. I'm not in the best mood right now. Last Tribal Council should have been a great move on my part, but Tyler screwed it up by voting for Sarah. If he had voted for Ashley, then George and Sarah would have flipped and voted her out in a revote over Brian. I'm confident in that. But he ruined everything. He ruined the plan. And then Brian, he starts screaming at me. Sure, okay, maybe I didn't tell him about the idol play, but the vote shouldn't have gone the way it did. I kept the information from him because I thought the vote was going to go in a different direction. I went to rocks for him, okay? Like, if anything, he owes me. That certainly was an interesting vote. Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for going to rocks to me. It means everything. And I'll mention it, Sarah. Glad that we're all still in the game because now we have majority. Tribal Council was terrifying. James saved me, though. He threw a vote onto Brian, and it caused a tie. Then my allies were willing to go to rocks for me, which I really I'm grateful for. Chris going out in the rock draw did suck, because I was wanting to work with him, but it had to be someone, I guess. And moving forward, I feel like I should just stick with the 5 I'm in, because they proved they're loyal to me. And, well, I don't know. They have the numbers. We should just ride this out. This is the final 5 right here. I agree. I trust my alliance and all, and I do like them a ton, but I don't really know about going to the final 5 of them. Sure, that benefits Grace and Ashley because they're the ones calling the shots, but if I just stick with them to the end, like, I don't really see how I win the game. I need to start making moves, because if I don't, then what? I'm just gonna get dragged to the end as a loser? I don't want to be a loser, I want to win. Chris going was probably the best scenario there. Yeah, it splits up him and Brian, and the side loses a number. Exactly. Now we can just sit pretty till the final 5. Yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure that the alliance will last that long, though. Yeah, probably will split apart, but we should probably get at least 1 or 2 more votes out of it. My strategy so far in the merge is to just kind of lay low. I know I've got a pretty big target on my back, so I'm just trying to give other people the power to call the shots, and hopefully everyone will kind of forget about me until it's too late. I like the 5 I'm in. I think it's a good 5, but I feel like I could use some more protection. Come on. Gotta get lucky sometime. Aha! Got it. I spent the day idle hunting, and I was rewarded. I found the stupid thing, and this just feels amazing. I got a lot of power right now, and I don't know. I feel like I got a pretty good shot of winning this thing. Hey Sarah, want to go on a walk? I guess so. Right now I don't really know who to trust, and I think my best bet is to try to work with Sarah. I still want to work with her. Obviously she was a part of the 5 Alliance, but I don't know if she'll want to work with me, considering I did vote her last night. So last night I did vote for you over Brian, but it wasn't to get you out. I knew that there were 4 votes going on Brian, and I was willing to go to rocks for you. Like, I was willing to go to rocks for Brian and you. That was kind of where I was at. Yeah, well, it is what it is, right? Obviously the rock draft didn't go how we wanted it to. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I kind of regret my decision. I would have rather flipped and just voted Brian off right then and there. Really. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of done working with him. He kind of blew up at me, and, you know, I want him out now. I really do. Why'd he get mad at you? You kept him in the game. I don't know, honestly, but yeah, I want him out. At first I wanted to work with Brian, but not anymore. It's like, he lost his temper at me, and moving forward, I just want him gone. He knows I gave my idol to Tyler, and if that news gets out, I'm pretty much screwed, so I want to take him out now, and I think it's in my best interest to do so. I am still open to working with Hunter. I think it could benefit my game. Just find it a little odd that he wants Brian gone. Brian apparently got really mad at him last night, but Hunter wouldn't say for what, and that just doesn't make a lot of sense, because Hunter, he kept him in the game by voting for me, and the fact that they're not on good terms kind of confuses me, but I don't know, maybe voting off Brian would be an easy thing to do to get Hunter on my side. So James, we're alone. Yeah, now we are. Should we revisit our last discussion? Maybe. I mean, you did vote for Tyler, but I have a sneaking suspicion you knew he was going to have an idol. Well, I might have not, but my point remains the same. If I go to the end with him, I'll lose, so I'm fine with getting rid of him. Maybe not right now, but definitely sometime in the near future. Yeah, well, I'm also open to making a move, Blake, but again, timing's a big thing. Right now the numbers are 5-4, and I'm in the minority, but I feel like I do have an in with James, and if I can convince him to join our side, then we'll be able to take out one of the power players. So I'm hopeful that he's going to be willing to make a move this round. If not, then I could be going home if Tyler ends up winning immunity. Welcome, survivors, to your next immunity challenge. This is how it's going to work. Each of you will have to balance yourself in between 2 small platforms. If you fall, you're out. Last player standing wins immunity and a spot in the final 8. Right, everyone's in position, and this challenge is on. Sarah falls, she's the first one out. And Blake drops, we're down to 7. Everyone's looking strong. Brian falls, we're down to 6. Everyone, you've been going at it for 30 minutes. And James can't hold on any longer. Still in, we have George, Hunter, Tyler, Grace, and Ashley. And Ashley's down. And Grace falls as well, we're down to 3. It's George, Hunter, and Tyler fighting for immunity. And George drops. He's out. And Hunter falls off as well, which means Tyler wins immunity once again. Congratulations, Tyler, on winning immunity. Guaranteed a 1 in 8 shot of winning this game. As for the rest of you, Tribal Council tonight, where somebody would be voted off and become the third member of our jury. Won't be you. Right, guys, that's free, guys. Grab your stuff, head on out. I'll see you tonight. Winning immunity is great because I know my name's out there. Obviously, after last round, people are going to be gunning for me. I'm safe, but I'm not too sure I'll have the numbers tonight, considering Hunter's pissed off at me, and, well, I don't know if anyone from that other side will flip. Okay, guys, I know there's some animosity in this group, but if we don't stick together, that side's just going to pick us off one by one. We can't turn on each other now. Yeah, Tyler's right. We gotta make something happen tonight. I was thinking we vote Grace. Obviously, she's a winner. Obviously, she's a big threat. She's probably in charge of that alliance. So, what do you guys say? Yeah, whatever. Fine by me. Brian, would you be able to get George on our side? I can try. The guys' alliance is a sinking ship. We're outnumbered. Plain and simple. If I don't flip now, I'm gonna be sinking with those guys, and I don't want to be sinking with them. Plain and simple. So what's the plan of attack tonight? Hey guys. Can I talk to you? Sure, Hunter, what's up? Well, I just want to say, tonight I'm fine with jumping ship. Obviously, I don't want to be stuck in the minority. And I'm fine with voting Brian off tonight. That's what I want to do, so just know that I'm willing to work with you guys if you vote Brian off here. Well, I'm fine with voting Brian off. Is everyone else? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sure. I'm not sure I can trust Hunter. I mean, he's voted for me before, so I don't really know. Apparently he wants to vote off Brian, and I think everyone else is fine with doing that, so hopefully it's Brian tonight, but I really don't know if Hunter's actually with us. So we're voting for Brian? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I really don't want to do that, in all honesty. Yeah, but I think it's in our best interest. If we stick with Hunter and our current alliance of 5, it gets us to Final 6, and from there, with Hunter and James, I think we can get rid of Ashley and Grace because they're such big threats. I know you're tight with Brian, but for us to get to the end, he has to go at some point. Yeah, I guess. Plus, if I, don't vote for him, it's not like the majority is going to change. I really don't want Brian to go home. I've been close with the guy for a while, but with Hunter flipping, it means there's going to be 5 votes on Brian no matter what I do, so I really just don't think I can save him. So, Georgie, what are they doing tonight? They're voting for Blake. Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He is good in challenges. Yeah, what are you doing? Well, the guys are doing Grace. I was hoping you'd flip, because then we'd have majority. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll have to talk to Sarah. Yeah, I get that, but I'm still on your side, George, even though you did vote for me last round. Hey, I only did that because I wasn't going to flip on Sarah. You know that. Yeah, no, we're still good, and I obviously still want to work with you, so let's just get Grace out tonight. I feel bad for lying to Brian about Blake getting the votes, but there's not much I can do. Hunter threw Brian under the bus, and, well, I don't want to hit him with the bus, but there's only so much I can do. Sarah doesn't want to flip, so I'm sorry, Brian. I really am. So how'd your talk with George go? Not great. He said the vote's on you, so I'd be worried if I were you. Great. Well, I guess we gotta try other options if George isn't flipping. Tonight, it looks like Blake could go home. I talked to George, but he wasn't really sure if he was gonna swing our way, and, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous because the guys' alliance does have a lot of cracks. There's a lot of distrust, and I feel like I contributed to that by yelling at Hunter. Hey, Hunter. Oh. Hi, Brian. Listen, I'm gonna keep this short. I just want to say I'm sorry about last night. I shouldn't have lost my temper at you. You made a good move in trying to keep Tyler, I gotta admit. And, I was just kind of looking to someone to blame for the outcome, right? I didn't want my grandpa to go. And, I'm sorry about losing my cool at you. Well, I appreciate that, Brian, I do. And I am sorry I was sneaking behind your back with the idol. We could have probably done that a bit better, but it is what it is. But yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, no problem, man. Brian apologized to me today, and I appreciate it, I really do. I'm not sure if it's going to change my vote tonight, but if he does go out, I'm glad we can leave on good terms. Okay, James, here's the deal. Tonight, the guys are all voting. The four of us, we're voting for Grace. If you vote with us, that'll be majority. It'll be a huge move. Grace goes, and it'll put you in a pretty good spot. Alright, I'll think about it, because from where I stand, Blake, I'm willing to make a move, but by voting Grace, like, if it doesn't work out, I feel like my game would be screwed. Yeah, but we have 4 votes. Yeah, okay. It's a lot to think about. I mean, I'm not going to go one way or another right now, but if I decide to do it, I decide to do it. It's something I'm going to think hard about. Blake gave me an interesting proposition, and that's to flip on Grace. I don't know if I should do it. I'm pretty close with Grace, but she is a very big threat. However, Hunter's jumped ship. He's not voting with the guys. And if I vote for Grace and she doesn't go home, I feel like my game's screwed. So, I don't know what to do. So Hunter, there is some concerns about your loyalty. Are you actually fine with voting for Brian, or are you just, like, lying to us? Well, I'm fine with it, right? If I stick with that side, I'm gonna be down in numbers, right? Obviously, you 5 have the numbers to take any of us out, and I don't want to just be left on the bottom. So, flipping's in my best interest. Okay, but you're not gonna screw us over here. You're not gonna, not vote for Brian? Well, it's not gonna make a big difference if I do or don't, right? So, George, are you fine with voting Brian? Because I thought you guys were pretty close. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not fine with it. I'll do it. I'll let him go, but I don't know. I'd rather do Blake tonight, or even Hunter. I don't know if he's with us. Yeah, he might not be, but we might have to trust him here. We have the numbers regardless of what he does. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm probably fine with Brian going, yeah. I touched base with George and Hunter, and, well, they both seem to be down with voting Brian. So if I flip here, it's not going to do my game any favors. But do I just want to play it safe? Do I want to just keep voting with the majority until what? Until I will run out of time to make a move? Or should I risk it all tonight? I don't know. I just know that I don't want to ruin my game here, but I also don't want to ruin my game by doing nothing. Welcome, survivors, to Tribal Council. Now introducing the members of the jury. Emily and Chris, eliminated at the last Tribal Council. So, Brian, the last round is definitely something in terms of votes. How do you feel now that your loved one's out of the game? Well, Jeff, I felt really sad about it. I'm still sad about it, but I know that he would want me to move on and keep fighting, and that's what I'm trying to do, so just gotta see how I can look to the future on this one. So Sarah, with Chris gone, you and your father are now the last duo left in the game. Do you think that puts a target on your back? Well, it does, Jeff. Obviously, people will be scared of a duo, especially as the numbers dwindle, but I think we're in a good enough spot where we shouldn't have to worry. So, Blake, how do you feel about tonight? Do you feel like you could be in danger? Well, I do feel nervous about tonight, but I think right now it's in everyone's best interest to try to go after the big threats, and I don't think I'm a big threat. Well, if that it is, time to vote. Brian, you can start us off. Brian, I'm sorry. I really am. There's not much I can do about tonight. Right now, this vote isn't personal. It's just what's best for me. This might get me closer to winning the game, but might also not. I'll go tally the votes. I have tallied the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. No? Alright, once the votes read, the decision is final. The person voted off will be asked to leave the Tribal Council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Grace. Second vote, Grace. That's 2 votes for Grace. Grace. That's 3 votes for Grace, 6 votes left. Brian. That's 3 votes Grace, 1 vote for Brian. Fifth vote, Brian. That's 3 votes Grace, 2 votes Brian, 4 votes left. Grace. That's 4 votes Grace, 2 votes Brian. 7th vote. Brian. That's 4 votes Grace, 3 votes for Brian, 2 votes left. 8th vote. Brian. We're tied. 4 votes Grace, 4 votes Brian, 1 vote left. The final vote. And the 10th person voted off, and the 3rd member of our jury. Grace. Grace, that's 5 votes, and that is enough for tonight. I'll need you to bring me your torch. Grace, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, survivors, just voted out the first returning winner from the game. It's 8 of you left. The end is in sight. Right, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff, head on out. Good night. Well, I was under the impression that the vote was going to be 6-3. Obviously, that didn't happen. Hunter clearly voted with his buddies and sent me home. As for the other person, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was George. I know he and Brian was close, but I don't think anyone else would flip on me. It's strange. I thought I was pretty safe tonight, but I got blindsided. It's a bad feeling. It's a pretty bad feeling.